What's up everybody, it's LaMuerteBlanca. We are back with another explained video where we speedrun the retelling of complicated game stories with plenty of jokes along the way. This time we're discussing Hades, the game whose events I assume happened before God of War because Kratos basically killed half of its cast. If you're one of those that can't spare the minimum 20 plus hours needed to play it, don't worry, I got you. You're Zagreus, son of Hades, this dude who has serious daddy issues and is trying to run away from the underworld, all while destroying his father's domain and massacring the souls of the dead because, fuck you dad! Despite being the god of the dead son, Zag's kind of a bitch and doesn't have any cool powers, so while trying to escape he enlists the help of his Olympian family, including Mr. Popo's lost daughter, Dances with Wolves, the love child of Jack Santa and Pikachu, this guy who lost his job to Kratos, Brazzers best model, Greek mermaid man, Delta Tau Kai, Amazon Prime, and the Snowmiser's grandma. But because he's kind of a bitch, he dies anyway. However, being the son of a god does have its perks, such as immortality. So Zagreus crawls out of the pool of sticks, talks shit to his pops, pets three-headed doggo, and gets ready to continue his boyhood tantrum. With the help of trans warrior Barbie, goth mommy Nyx, boy band Grim Reaper, and other friends like Zag dies again. And again. And again.
You don't win. You just do a little better each time.
After several failed attempts, Zag takes a nap and wakes up deciding to snoop through his dad's shit. He finds a letter from Persephone, and because the narrator of all things messed up, so much for the fourth wall, we find out she's also Zagreus' mother. What? His mom? Zag's all like, what the fuck? Nyx, I thought you were my mom. I hate you, dad. I'm leaving for real this time. With a renewed determination to leave, Zag eventually manages to fight through the halls of Tartarus, including Sephiroth's vampire harem, the lava fields of Asphodel, and puts down this bone snake hydra thing that spits out of its mushroom-shaped head, insert obvious dick joke here, in the fields of Elysium to fight the most annoying egomaniac I've ever met in a video game, and his pet cow. Along the way, Zag makes sure to check on his homie who has an unhealthy obsession with this boulder. I'm talking hardcore Castaway vibes. Helps a voodoo doll reconnect with his long-lost tree lady, and attempts to get emo warrior dude reunited with trans Barbie. Just below the surface, Doggo's guarding the door, but happily leaves once given a demonic Scooby snack, and then finally Zagreus reaches the surface, and the only thing between him and freedom is his father. I have to say, Hades does do a pretty good Kratos impression. Go home, boy. Zag's like, fuck you, dad, and is fucking brawl, like American tabloid talk show level brawl, but they're gods instead of trailer park trash. Because the Department of Children and Families doesn't exist in the underworld, Hades kills his son, and dude has to start all over again. Hades is getting tight, stepmommy Nyx is helping the homie, but she's a bad bitch and doesn't give a fuck what the god of the dead thinks. After several more attempts, finally, Zag gets his revenge, kills his old man, and is free to leave the underworld. Even though his mom could be literally anywhere, Zagreus walks for like half a minute and finds her cottage. But instead of the loving embrace one might expect, Persephone shoos him away. What? Fuck you, lady. You can hate me, but I still want answers. Why'd you go get milk and never come home? Suddenly, her tone softens. She thought he died when he was born. Persephone embraces her son finally. Zagreus tells her about his journey, but after some time, he starts to get weak. Because fate's an asshole and loves irony, Zagreus fought all this way numerous times to be with his mother, but can't stay on the surface for long and dies anyway. He's bound to the underworld like his pops. Once again, Zag crawls out of the pool of sticks, walks up to his pops like, what the fuck? But he's acting like his son didn't just kill him and meet his mom. If Zag wants answers, he'll have to fight his way to the top again. So he does. Why didn't you tell mom I lived? Silence, boy. You shall never understand. As the ever-loving family of Hades proceeds to beat the shit out of each other once again. Father slain, Zagreus heads to his mother who explains she came to be with Hades after leaving Olympus. They got close enough to have a kid, but when Zag emerged stillborn, Persephone couldn't take it, fled, and now resides here between the notice of the underworld and Olympus. But why would Hades lie about all this? Taken by the fates once again, Zagreus fights his way back up and finally gets some information from his pops. Hades was convinced his child wouldn't survive because when he was appointed ruler of the underworld, one of the conditions was he would never have an heir. It took all of Nyx's strength, Night Incarnate, to bring Zagreus back, a process completed after Persephone left. Nyx was also the one that helped Persephone escape and is currently helping Zagreus reconnect with his mother. So why didn't Hades tell Persephone Zagreus lived? The fates take Zag again, he continues his shade murder spree, and the next time he talks to his mom wonders if Hades is trying to protect Persephone in his own misguided way. Something else is clearly going on. The die, respawn, murder everything, and find mom cycle continues. Zagreus tells her he's been in contact with the gods of Olympus and their power has been helping him. This sends Persephone in a panic, but chills when Zagreus says they think he's only trying to escape the underworld to see them. Of course, Hades isn't happy about this either. Is Hades trying to protect Persephone from the Olympian gods? Nyx puts Zag in contact with the gods and she explains there was no other way. Zagreus would not have found her without the Olympians' help, and eventually Nyx's power to hide Persephone will not be enough. Whatever's going on with Persephone and Zagreus, if this situation was left as is, there would be greater consequences, which is why Nyx is setting everything in motion. As Zagreus fights to reach the surface again, I'm starting to question the amount of work it's taking just to continue a conversation with this lady. Zagreus hits his father straight. Did he let Persephone go to help hide her from Olympus? Hades straight up like, you clearly don't know your family. Why do you think your mother left them? Hades then sets another cape on fire as dude must have a whole closet full of them. Zagreus beats his ass again, and this time Persephone says her leaving Olympus was, complicated. However, because of reasons, Persephone was content to leave and join Hades in the underworld. Much of this was under wraps though, and if word got out, there would be a full-on war between Olympus and the underworld. Hades is trying to hide Persephone in order to prevent that war. This also explains why he's pissed off at Nyx and Zagreus. Their intervention is threatening what he is trying to keep concealed. Another underworld ransacking, another patricide, another conversation with Mommy Dearest. This time Persephone is asking Zagreus not to visit her anymore. It's too dangerous and now agrees to Hades this is the best way to keep everyone safe.
But man,
What the fuck? I've been fighting and dying this whole time just to see you and that's it? Goodbye, Zagreus. Well, I guess that's it, is what I'd say if Zagreus was a bitch. But if you were paying attention earlier, not having cool powers only makes him kind of a bitch. Also, he's been going against his parents' wishes this entire game. Why stop now? Another underworld massacre, another dead father, and he's back. There has to be a way to fix this mess. Yeah, the Olympic family is completely fucked, but there has to be some way to make amends. But Persephone flips the script like, Hades probably doesn't even have feelings for me anymore. Bet. As Zagreus returns home, sneaks into his father's room, finds an old photo of his mom, fights to the surface again, and before dying again, throws it in her face like, bitch, no disrespect of course, quit tripping, dad still loves you, now go talk to him. For the 10th time, Zagreus fights all the way to the surface, confronts his father, but this time he's acting differently. Hades admits to loving Persephone, admits to some ill-advised choices, some being the opportune word, and allows Zagreus to continue without a fight. Zagreus once again rushes to meet his mom, who's packing. Huh? After being nagged by his immortal son, watching him die over and over again, and learning Hades still cares about her, she's deciding to go back to the underworld. They catch a ride on the river Styx and head home. Credits roll. GG's y'all, we did it and reunited part of the most dysfunctional mortal family ever. But it's not over yet. Even though the queen of the underworld is back, if the Olympians find out, they are all fucked. Persephone has a plan, but for now, needs her son to keep appearances by continuing to escape. Something Hades now approves of as Zagreus is revealing security flaws. So apparently, destroying everything his father built and repeatedly killing his own father is now part of the job description. Greek mythology is fucked. This also means the game will never end because every time Zag gets to the surface, same as before, he just dies anyway and comes back because fate's a bitch. However, if you decide to commit countless hours to the process and help Zagreus build his relationship with his father and the other Olympians, you learn that Zeus was the one that gave Persephone to Hades. He felt sympathy for Hades when he was banished to the underworld and ultimately kidnapped Persephone as a consolation prize. Hades didn't send her away because he liked her and she didn't want to return, but being put in such a position pissed Hades off, and he cut ties with his lightning-infused brother because of all of it. None of the other Olympians were aware of this, which is why war would break out if they knew, and you thought your family was messed up. Eventually, Persephone shares her plan to have Zagreus invite the gods to a good old family reunion in the underworld, where they will tell them what happened, kinda? Instead of the fuckery we've been discussing throughout this video, Persephone is going to tell them all that she and Hades fell in love, eloped, had a child, and that child wanted to reconnect with the rest of his family. But Daddy Hades wasn't having it because, naturally, he's pissed at them. However, Zagreus' continued struggle to the surface persuaded his parents to reveal their secret relationship in an effort to rejoin the greater family. Like most mortals, they're going to lie their asses off in order to save their asses. As you would imagine, the gods were stunned to hear this story, but Zeus, who knows the truth, quickly welcomed them back to the family, likely trying to save his own ass. Then they all partied like the debaucherous gods they are. You can only imagine what would happen at a feast attended by the gods of wine, love, and war. Brothers Hades and Zeus make amends, and as the festivities ended, the gods returned to Mount Olympus, a reunited dysfunctional family. And Zagreus continues to destroy his father's realm and commit patricide over and over. And that's Hades. Remember kids, if you're not happy with your miserable existence, ransack your parents' house and beat them up before you run away. I mean, It worked for Zagreus. If you enjoyed these videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, or don't. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what other games that you all want to see. We've already done a ton of other explain videos, so make sure you check those out as well. I'm LaMuerteBlanca, and I'll catch you guys next time.